अहिंसा परमधरम, अहिंसा परमधरम। बुद्ध का ये है कहना, बुद्ध का ये है कहना, बुद्ध का ये है कहना, किसी को दुख ना देना सबसे बड़ा धर्म है, किसी को दुख ना देना सबसे बड़ा धर्म है, किसी को दुख ना देना। अहिंसा परम धर्म, अहिंसा परम धर्म। बुद्ध का ये है कहना, बुद्ध का ये है कहना, सुख के बदले सुख है, दुख के बदले दुख है। जैसा कर्म करोगे वैसा फल पाओगे, जैसा कर्म करोगे वैसा फल पाओगे। अहिंसा परम धर्म, अहिंसा परम धर्म। बुद्ध का ये है कहना, 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 बुद्ध का ये है कहना। Diri jiveski tsalla chusluk mirik na hatso lama sampe lo manam tungal sampe stasi mana Ishinul bilo manam tungal sampe stasi mana Paspachanda ziski tulpana itingchin savela make Zabiji dede polchin ponai lamas tanzin yatsoke Zabiji dede polchin ponai lamas tanzin yatsoke Ishinul bijay malatuski kulo vachesa Taldandan jombi mane sodnam sakspidas pusmi Ishinul bilo manam tunbil zampes tashimana Paspachanda ziski tulpana itingchan savela make Zabiji dede polchin ponai lamas tanzin yatsoke Zabiji dede polchin ponai lamas tanzin yatsoke Zabiji dede polchin ponai lamas tanzin yatsoke
The most unique skill is to be slow. and not try and catch up with all the changes around us. That is my perspective. I feel that if you have the capacity to grow at your own pace and not get uh, driven by factors around you, I feel that we will be able to understand ourselves much better and not get influenced by factors which are outside our influence. One of the observations that I uh, made in these last few years of my engagement with the people of Ladakh, one thing that I realized is that we as a community have some sort of, for a lack of a better word, I would say, an aversion towards the process of planning. Uh, what I mean by that is people say that if a, if we go through a process of planning and then we come up with whatever analysis and inferences we come up with, it usually stays as an academic report or some form of in the shape of a book, it stays on a shelf. What I realized is that as long as we as long as we go through the process of planning, the plan itself does not seem very important. But the process of planning, I feel, is very important because as Buddhists, we believe in the law of karma, and we are shaped by the latent energies that we have around us. For example, if we listen to something for a long period of time, it makes an impact on us. Similarly, if we see something for a long period of time, it shapes our character. So I feel that if we as a community go through, events like this where we talk about, topics like these, I feel that as a community we will grow more resilient to issues like what Geshe pointed out, or factors which are not entirely in our control. As a community, I feel we need to make our youth feel safe and secure to be curious, to be able to question. Um, there is so much judgment around us that most of us are stressed because of what the people around think about us. One of the basic things about Buddhism is I don't have much knowledge about the texts of our great masters, but I realized that instead of taking these texts as principles and dogmas to follow, I think one of the basic things that they point us towards is to be curious, is to question everything, is to try and find the cause of whatever is troubling us. I came here for the first time when I was posted here. The huge Himalayas and their resilience teach us just one thing, that no matter how big or small we might conceive ourselves in our head, but we are very insignificant. And in front of Geshe, you are those mighty Himalayas, and we are those little insignificant. So I would not be able to say much, but just to say that this idea of sea learning was conceived with an inspiration that in years to come, the generations to come, we must not uh, part away with our values, with our ethos that have been so intrinsic to our upbringing in all these years and for all these generations. But
But like Geshe said, now machines are becoming intelligent and the human is becoming dull. The stars are becoming higher and our morality is going lower. Artificially, we all are evolving to be more intelligent, but somehow probably we are losing the human values. Rightly so. And like Sir said, this could not have been more appropriately timed event today. Sir knows, Honorable Councillor also knows, today Ladakh is going through a very tough time. We are seeing our youth opting for easier pleasures, I would say, in terms of substance abuse. Just last week, we lost a life of a 14-year-old boy, a 13-year-old boy, who met with an accident while driving a vehicle. We lost a 23-year-old young girl. She was burned alive. There is a police interrogation still going on whether she was killed first and then burned, or whether she was burned alive because she was involved in some kind of a substance abuse and she could not pay for it. See, for all of us who are parents here, nothing can be more heartbreaking than to see your child going through something like this. And not just for the parents, but for the community. Like he mentioned, a community, a society rests on the generations. It is up to us as a community to shape those generations. And if we want to divorce our generations of these values, of those ethos, of the kindness, that compassion, the love, we are probably doing something wrong, and a wrong that can never be written off. So I am just grateful to Geshe for coming down here, is being here to help all of us to understand that mere studies, technological advancements would not help us going forward. Like he said, he won't even call them a progress or a development. For him, it is just a change. And trust me, that is it. We just get carried away by the modern technological advancement, thinking that probably we are prospering ahead. But, but deep inside, we all need to sit down and ponder, is that the true advancement? The families today are going nuclear. Parents don't have time for the children, the kids don't have time for the parents. Like I said, the houses are getting bigger, but the families are shrinking. So at this point of time, we really need to think about it. There has been a lot of damage which has already been done. Let us not sit over it and waste any more time. Let us all come together. And these values, like what Geshe must have mentioned in last 4 days, the first group, this is not just for the students or for the parents or for some kind of a group. It is for all of us because trust me, deep inside, we all have begun to think that our egos and our beings are probably more superior than some of the others. But trust me, like I said, in the land of mighty Himalayas, we would all realize that we are fairly insignificant. And that is a feeling I would really urge all of you to carry all through your life. Like he said, we all pretend to be humans, but we are forgetting that we are the being. We are forgetting to be a human at first place. So I urge you all to please let us all follow, let us all spread these values of not just compassion or kindness, but the fairness. A value that we all have to be eventually one day go back to a place none of us really know about. And before we leave for that place, let us do some little good to the place that we've spent such a long time in. So I thank Geshe for spending time for our students, for all our participants. We just hope not to disappoint you. That is the least I can say. On behalf of the group, we would really try very hard to follow what you said in our lives. And At no point of time we would want to disappoint you, and we would certainly take these values forward. And I'm sure the entire group will also commit to it that in whatever way possible, in our daily routine, in our daily life, let us carry that message of being, and not just being, but a being of compassion. We should carry that empathy, that kindness, those values. And like he said, let us not get carried away by the materialistic pleasures. We have a bigger purpose of our life. Let us try to get there.
Especially in the case of Ladakh also, during the last few years, the change, the speed of the change that has taken place here is almost phenomenal. I had the privilege of visiting this place more than 10 times. When I first visited, it was just simple villages everywhere. Now it is totally different. So now young people are a little bit lost how to catch up with this speed, right? And when material development means markets will be flooded with all kind of shiny, gadgets and so many things. And young people who did not have the life's experience, they get attracted to these shiny gadgets. But not many young people have the capacity to have all of them. And at the same time, when they also don't have the inner resources, then they feel this empty inside. In order to fill this gap, unfortunately, young people resort to all kind of unhealthy things, including using drugs, right? So therefore, this kind of retreat, this kind of continuous education of the importance of understanding yourself, finding happiness from yourself, not just from external material progress is not only important, but it is urgent. And in fact, I remember when His Holiness encouraged us to come up with this sea learning curriculum, His Holiness said, this is urgent because the buildings are getting taller and taller, morality of the people are getting lower and lower. And that's why throughout the world now we have so many different types of illnesses, sicknesses, including depression, loneliness, low self-esteem, and whatnot. I don't even know the name. So many sufferings. These are primarily created by improper human attitude due to lack of inner resources. And we can handle all those problems and difficulties provided if you're guided in the right direction. And it is the knowledge of everybody that human beings, on the one hand, are said to be the creation of the God or crown of creation, very intelligent, right? But we have been misusing this intelligence towards the negative side. We have used this intelligence for making nuclear bombs, making ballistic missiles, making drugs to take the life of other people. So many negative things are happening just to feed your family, just to make some money, right? So it is highly important now to again emphasize that we should become real human being with feelings of love, feelings of compassion. So in this direction, because of the big influence of the world around, sometimes you might feel that this is an uphill task, but we can do it. Not only we can do it, but we must do it. There is no choice. It's almost like a question of survival and death. And if you don't take the steps right now, we are all moving towards a global suicide. Global suicide, I'm telling you. If you look at the killings that is done in the name of conflict and things like that, it is happening right now. I'm not making a fictional story. So therefore, it is, on the one hand, we need to make this effort. On the other hand, we should rejoice that we have these resources within our reach. And with this word, I thank all the participants, the first batch, and also welcome the new batch. And with the new batch, I have again 4 days with you, and I'll keep on speaking until you get completely tired. Thank you. Thank you.
my first intention to come on this retreat was not because I want to study Buddhism. I just came here, I thought that it will be fun. But since, and even the first day was not very much comfortable to be honest. I don't even able to sleep properly. There, I just lie here and there, and it was yeah, for the first day was not as great as I expected. But then, as I had carry on the patience and as I come to the Geshe station, it was wonderful. At first, I thought it was a bit not as I expected. I thought that it would be just lessons and lessons and lessons, which I was not very much interested at the first actually. But then Geshala, the way he teaches, he is not just like an the strict teacher that are present in our school. He teaches everything so friendly. I mean, he's even because of that his friendliness. I get the courage to ask all the questions that I had asked in the past days. If it were to be strict Geshe-la, the straight-minded Buddhism mindset Geshe-la, then I might not ask those questions. But then seeing Geshe-la's friendliness and his expression and all those, I get the courage to be honest. And then uh, it is not just about the session that have been taken here. It doesn't only depend on what Geshe-la teaches, how what are the fun activities here they provide, but it also depends upon the people here. Without the, actually, in all my life, this was the one of the best environment that I had. Because in schools and all this, I even don't get that much the environment of such great minds like you, who have the pace, who have the ambition to progress in their life, now who have some seriousness in their life to do something, to gain knowledge and to learn all the things, and then. Yeah, actually, and beside this, actually, I'm way younger than all of you, but I don't feel the gap between our ages. We all were like that. We were on the same level. That was very great for you guys to not just think me as a kid, because yeah, actually, you all are graduate in colleges. So yeah, and. Foods were good. The accommodation, yeah, foods were actually good. Accommodation were good, and I actually want to thank the Flowering Dharma, the organizer, and all the organizer to organize such event. At first, I thought even 1,500 was too much. But now coming to this kind of retreat, I think that even next time if they ask for more than 1,500, I might be willing to pay it happily. And yeah, actually, I want to thank all of you guys for having such an friendly nature. I must say, I don't find anybody who is having some non-friendly nature or some the egoistic thing. They were all friendly, and nothing much to say. As I said, I don't write a very long written script. So yeah, thank you so much, Gesha, for giving this wonderful lessons. I will now, as I told earlier, I was not very much interested in Buddhism, but now I will try to read more and more. I will not just going to recite and memorize the prayers, but I will try to understand what's the meaning, the real meaning of the prayers, and then I'll try to implement it in my life. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
For me personally, I think, and for everyone as well, I think it was more than just a retreat. It was more than just coming to the class and listening to the teachings. I guess it was for this retreat was for ourselves to change our own mindset, which we rarely ever do in our lives. So I think it was like a really, really great opportunity, and I'm truly honored to be able to speak here to talk about it. So yeah, first and foremost, I would like to pay my deepest, deepest gratitude to Geshe Lhakdor So it was due to his wisdom, his passion and compassion, and due to his humorous way of teaching that truly brought Shantideva's teachings to life. These age-old teachings, I feel like I was listening to them from the mouth of Shantideva itself, himself. So it was not just a philosophy, it was actually a very practical guide for us to live our lives and to be compassionate, and which encouraged us to examine our own minds very deeply. So yeah, I think the greatest transformation is definitely not from the outside, but by changing the world within ourselves, which I think as a young person is very relevant today. As a young person, I have constantly felt this pressure to do better, and we have the social expectations. Me personally, I have given the recent needs, so yeah, I know the expectations and the pressure young people put on themselves to show how much they matter to the society. But within this retreat, I felt like it was okay to be just me. And within all the comparisons and the endless social media scrolling and all the expectations, it reminded me that this 4 days reminded me that maybe, the greatest success, we can't get it from the outside itself. I think it is from our minds that we can get the greatest happiness and the success. And I think this is what the priceless lesson that I learned within these few days that I hope to carry for a very long time, hopefully. And within this, I would also like to thank the Flowering Dharma. Creating or organizing a retreat at such a large scale, it's not an easy task. As Kanashila was saying yesterday, it was actually kind of very difficult, but when I entered this place, every detail was very thoughtfully planned, and it was a very safe space for learning. So I am like truly and deeply in gratitude to the Flowering Dharma team for organizing such retreats for the young people and the young youths of Ladakh. I would also like to thank the volunteers. When I first entered this premises, I was welcomed with warm smiles and bit of strictness as well, but that is accepting, I guess. The arrangements were very smooth, and the volunteers worked behind the scenes, but their presence could be felt everywhere. So thank you so much to the volunteers. And obviously a special thanks to the Geshe Monastery for giving us such a beautiful place to do this retreat. I think the environment itself has a beauty to like stop the momentum and make us think about our own lives. So thank you so much to the Geshe Monastery and Geshe Chile for giving us this opportunity.
Padma Dolkar, Tanzin Yamdol, Tanzin Yurgel, Kunchuk Dorje, Jigme Dolgar, Tanzin Chozo, Tanzin Dolgar, Namgyal Dorje, Ringjin Dolkar, Kunzes Ammo, Skarma Ammo, Stanzin Kunsal, Gezes Dolma, Sonam Ammo, Chimed Nurzin Ammo,
Lanichi Mare
With that, I would also I would
Locally, I think only 3%. But you have to develop 5 to 6% of them. Then you can connect. And to my kind of surprise, with such a good gathering, attending the sessions for